do something a little different in the juice today. We have got my man here online. His name is Mr. Eric Thomas, and of course, he is someone that is no stranger to adversity and no stranger to showing you how to get out of those difficult spots. He's got different things like the keys to success, his voice alone, his determination, his seriousness, his size. Everything about him is not only overwhelming, but it's so influential and strong. I'm so happy to speak to him this morning. Eric, how you doing?
Oh, man, blessed and highly favored, man. How you doing?
I'm very good, very good. I just want people to know a little bit about you. Eric, as we've told you before, is no stranger to the ills that plague our communities in different places, like in Chicago, where you were raised, of course, and also raised in the streets of Detroit, Michigan. And this is a perfect time, actually, to talk to you in concerns to everything that is going on in St. Louis, Missouri. But we'll talk about that in a hot second. What I want to talk about right now, real quick, is let them know a little bit about who you are and what made you go from the ills to the higher, taking a higher level in life and teaching kids how to do that as well.
Yeah, well, you know, man, for me, I unfortunately met a failure in a lot of stuff. My mom, was a teenage mom, got pregnant at 17. Unfortunately, I didn't create a relationship or establish a relationship with my biological father until I was about 30. So I just went through what a lot of kids go through, who have that experience growing up in an urban community. I dropped out of high school, never really took school serious, left home at 16, was really, hurt. Found out that, my mom did marry at 5 and lied to me about, who my real father was. And I just took that negativity and went down a negative path, I end up, like I said, living in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash cans, etc. But then I had a minister who mentored me when I was about 17 years old. He encouraged me to get my GED, and he told me, you have greatness within you. You have abilities, you have a special skill set, and you really do need to get out of the streets of Detroit. You need to go to college and get your life together. So he helped me to pass my GED, sent me to college, got my 4-year degree, master's degree. In December, I'll finish up with my PhD. So this guy just really saw something in me. He really challenged me. He really pushed me, and really he was the wind beneath my wings to pursue greatness. And so that's pretty much my story. It started off as a failure. Somebody believed in me, gave me the tools I needed, mentored me, and gave me a fresh beginning.
And congratulations to all your success and even the hardship you went through that helped you stabilize you to appreciate that success that you're doing right now.
Thank you so much.
And also, man, you talk about somebody believing in you in order to make you move forward. And I think it's incredible how you as one person believe in so many who don't have somebody to believe in them. And that's what your motivational speaking is all about. Every time you come out and I see you on some of your YouTube channel stuff, and I've read some of your stuff, and I'm like, man, this man, and because you know how hard it is sometimes to deal with people that don't want to deal with their own reality.
Absolutely.
And you know their reality as much as they don't even know what they're going through because you've been there.
Yeah. And it's tough, man. I mean, nobody wants to really deal with the ugly side. But it is in dealing with the ugly side, that we're able to take our game to a whole new level. It's like looking at those gaps, and just being honest and saying, you know what? And I had to do it. I had to be honest and say, E.T., not so what? But your father left you. You know how many kids' fathers have left them, and are still successful? Like, if you could look at all the successful men and women in the world, you would find that a large majority of them probably didn't have their father in their life. So at some point, it's like, E.T., get over it. Like, you're taking that which is negative and you're allowing it to consume you. Like, take that negative, take that pain, and allow that pain to push you to greatness. You're not the only one, who mother was a single mother. You're not the only one whose mother was a teenage mother. You're not the only one whose mother, grew up in poverty. Like, you're not the only one, kid. So you got to stop whining. You got to stop complaining because it's not taking you anywhere. It's taking you to abandoned buildings. Like, you eating out of trash cans. Like, it don't make sense. And so I had to just man up and say, you're right. He should have been there. You're right. He should have mentored you. You're absolutely right. But if you stay in this state, of being a victim, you're going to be here for the rest of your life. And I tell people, I get it. You've been knocked down. I understand, and that's not right. You're absolutely right. So if somebody knocks you down, there's nothing you can do about it. But if I come back a week later and you're still down, 2 weeks later, a year later, 3 years later, you're still knocked down, then that's a problem, because at some point you could have gotten up. So I'm 100% there with you. I remember going to college being afraid. I'm a high school dropout. I don't read well. I don't write well. You know, I remember saying that to myself. And then one day I had to say, E.T., okay, so you don't read well. So you don't write well. The question is, what are you going to do about it? You start looking at those gaps and you start being real and honest with yourself. It's at that point that you can begin to grow and do better.
Which is incredible too, man. It's so powerful. It's so powerful to hear your pain turn to passion, and I think that's what people love to hear in your motivational speaking. And I'm floored by every time I hear you even speak. Even when I answer the phone right now, you say, "Is there Eric Thomas?" I was like, "Oh man." I feel it already, man. I really, really appreciate everything you do. I want to talk real quick right now about the situation in St. Louis and Ferguson with Mr. Mike Brown. What's your take on that?
Man, I was talking to a group of young people last Tuesday and this Tuesday, and man, I've been telling my young people, you got to equip yourself, man. Let's be 100. You're hearing a lot of people saying that this mirrors some stuff that they saw during the civil rights movement. So it's not a new phenomenon. It's not something that we have not experienced before. Here in the United States of America. And I keep telling my young people, we have to equip ourselves. The exact same night I was walking in my neighborhood. I come back from Australia, so I was jet lag, time zone difference. So I was up, man, literally about 1:40 in the morning, walking in my neighborhood and just, meditating and talking to the Lord. And the cop pulls me over, and he's saying, we've heard disturbances, there's, peeping Tom, there's some stuff going on. And I'm letting the officer know, like, I live in this neighborhood, but the way I went about doing it, the language that I use, my body language,
posture,
everything, and I didn't have any ID on me, and I was like, this is where I live, and I live in a neighborhood where, of course, is not, totally saturated with a lot of African Americans, but the way I conducted myself, the way I spoke, just everything about how I interacted with this individual. And so I tell my young people that there's some realities that, we just not going to get over in America in the next 5-10 years. There's some situations that, that are real, but the way you conduct yourself, you have to equip yourself, the right language, the right codes, the right rules. You have to. And I told my son, when we look at a lot of these instances, Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, a lot of the instances that we look at, and we're not justifying what happened, but the initial interaction that they had could have been different. True. And so I tell my son, I can't change the officer. I don't know every officer, in the city that we know, but I do know my son, and I can tell you how to talk to officers. I can tell you where to be, where not to be, what to do, what not to do, and I can equip you a lot better as my son, who is a 19-year-old African-American male, and when Trayvon was shot and killed, my son was the exact same age as Trayvon. I cannot train officers. I cannot do professional development with every officer in the state of Michigan. But I can, as an African-American male, 19-year-old, I can prepare my son. And so that's my cry, that we need to prepare ourselves. We understand the truths or the realities of this country, and we need to prepare ourselves so that we can deal with our law enforcement. And then I go back to something that I heard, like, not every officer is the exact same. Not every, person would have conducted themselves the exact way this young man did as it relates to Michael Brown. So we can't clump people together. We can't say that, every officer has these same racial tensions or profiles, but we know that there are some, that do, and our young men have to learn how to talk, learn how to express themselves, learn how to prepare themselves, so if they do encounter someone of that nature, they're ready.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eric Thomas. Tell me exactly what your message is going, how that will translate from an American point of view to a Canadian point of view. Is this something that is universal, the motivational speaking that you'll be doing in Toronto?
Absolutely. Greatness, man. The pursuit of greatness. When you look at the lion going after the gazelle, he's pursuing. He's not waiting for him to come. And I'm coming to Toronto to say, I've been coming to Toronto since I was, in the 8th grade, 8th grade, man, the mid-'80s, man. I CNN Tower, we came for our first trip, as 8th graders. And I've been back and forth in Toronto with my children, since my career started. And I love Toronto. I love, the way our young men in Toronto dress, some of the articulation of our young men. I love it, man. The fact that, some of our young people come from, the West Indies background. I love the culture. And I just want to say to them, you come from great generation, and I want to challenge them to continue to pursue that greatness. Like, don't get comfortable. Don't get settled. Don't say that, we have opportunities, that maybe our forefathers didn't have and we can chill out. No, this is the time to pursue greatness, to go after opportunities, not to wait for it to come, but to take advantage of an opportunity of a lifetime, in the lifetime of that opportunity. So you can just go to ETNTO.com and register, man, and come out and hear me, because I'm coming live and direct, and I'm looking to change your life before I get out of there.
My man, you changed mine this morning, and thank you very much, Eric Thomas.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
All right.
Peace.